Alright, welcome back to the channel again. Got another warm day here in March. Sunny. It's up in the 60s, so figure better try to take advantage of these warmer days and keep working on things. So I want to start getting these tractors serviced, get the oil changed and all that good stuff. So I think today we'll start with the skid steer and work our way onto some of the tractors. But today I just want to focus on the skid steer and get it done, hopefully. And then each time we have a nice day, I'll just try to pick away at doing another tractor. So I'm going to go ahead and get that skid steer fired up, let her warm up, get the engine oil warm, and then we'll come back and we'll start the process on it. Alright, well I've let that warm up there for a little bit, so the engine oil got warm. So now let's just start to get gather stuff up to change the oil and filters and all that good stuff. So I'll just let the camera roll here and you kind of see how I gotta take things apart and get into it. I got the boom locked up into place. In order to get in here to work pretty much on everything on this engine, you gotta undo this latch, and this piece here will fold down, you'll see here. But it's like 3 of these bolts to take out. You can't do it with this boom all the way down, then it won't flip out like you want it to. Kind of sucks, like if something major goes wrong and the boom's down and you can't get the engine started, which I've had it happen before, especially like with a dead battery. You can't hardly get in there and do work on anything. This piece just folds down like this. Now I can get in here and work on things. So I need to get a drain pan and find the right wrench to drain the oil out the bottom. Unfortunately, since this thing sits so low, this is the only pan I can get under it, and it pretty much fills this pan right up to the limit. Let's see if I can figure out what size. It's hard telling. Just grab a couple different sizes. Hopefully I grab one that'll work. If I can sit you down, get a better look at what I'm doing. Try to do this without bumping the camera, but maybe hard. I got it right on the first one. It's a 3/4. There we go. Probably blocking most of what you guys are seeing. Go. Like I said, I think it pretty much fills that pan clear up, if I remember right. For those that might wonder, this is a Kubota engine, little diesel. That's obviously the filter. I'm going to have to change the oil filter. I tell you, I've had this skid steer, I don't know, 5+ years now. Having a skid steer is pretty handy. For those that had them before, you probably gonna understand. They just, I use this for so many things. It's just so handy at times. I could put forks on it like it has on now, and then I got a bucket that goes on it, switch it back and forth. So I use it to lift pallets up, and obviously to move dirt and gravel around, and all this gravel inside the shed here pretty much was put in here by this skid steer. I'm constantly burning old stumps and stuff. It's nice to, you know, with the forks, just lift them stumps up, move them around, and stack them up. This is just a nice little handy skid steer. It'd be nice if it had a little more weight to it so I could lift a little bit more. I can bring that rear end up pretty easily, but I think there is, as you can see down there, there's right here, I think you can get a weight bracket and put on a little set of weights. I don't know if you could still get them anymore or not. This machine's probably, I don't know the exact year, but I think it's early 90s. So it's, you know, 30 years old. I don't know if they could still get a weight bracket for it or not. Put some weights back there, it would certainly help. But see how we're getting down there. We're just small, but that pan's pretty full. But we'll let that drain for a few, and then I'll come back. Either I'll start changing that filter, or maybe I'll start greasing it while that's still dripping, try to get most of that oil out. All right, let it drain for a while. Pretty much got everything out, so I put the plug back in it. We're all set there, so now I'm gonna work on getting this oil filter off. Let's see where I can put you where, let's see what I'm doing. You can see anything there or not. The thing I don't like about this is where this filter base is. It's right over the frame of the machine, and when it starts running, it just hits the frame and goes every which way. There's no, it doesn't go directly down into any pan, so it runs somewhere. Get this base cleaned off here. I got my new filter already prepped and ready to go. I got a little bit of oil I put on the seal. Unfortunately, I can't put any oil in the filter itself with the way this setup is. We'll spin her on. Try not to get these too tight because it seems like you get them pretty snug, then you can't never get them back off. Just want to make sure they don't leak. Next thing is now adding oil to the machine. This goes right here on the top, this piece right here. So I get a funnel ready and I'll start putting some of that in there. I'll set it back over here off to the side where you I don't remember how much this thing actually holds. I don't know why I've gotten mine. I think it's 7 quarts, but could be wrong. Put some in and I'll just keep checking it. We're barely touching the dipstick, so we got quite a bit to go yet. We're a little above full now, but I know some's got to go into that filter yet. So put this back on and we'll start it up. Let it run for a second or two. Alright, well, I'm going to let that sit and settle for a few before I check it. So meantime, I'll clean some of this stuff up while I'm waiting and we'll come back. Alright, let it set for a little bit. Now check the oil and see what transpires. Whoa. Wipe it off here. Looks like it was about right on, but wipe it off. Yeah, I don't know if you were able to see that, but we're just, just a skosh above the full mark, not about pretty much dead on. So we're pretty much good there. Now the other thing I try to do is should blow out this air filter. Just clamp off. I have to use both my hands to get this. There we go. She's a little dirty. Alright, I'm gonna get that blowed off quick, get it back in, and then I'll come back, and the only thing I know I need to do is grease it. While I was waiting on the oil to settle, I did check my radiator and it's full. We're good to go there. So I think other than greasing it, I don't change fuel filters every time. It doesn't get run enough to need the fuel filters changed all the time, so we're not going to mess with it this time. Alright, we'll be back when we're ready to grease it. Alright, got that air filter blowed out. had it put back in. So the only thing I think I need to do yet is grease it. It really doesn't take a whole lot of grease fittings. There's one on each wheel, so there's 4 there. And then there's a couple up here on the boom part, but most of the boom doesn't take any grease fittings, which is kind of surprising. I thought it would, you know, anywhere there's a pivot point there would be a grease zerk, but there's not. Just out here on the edge where you tip the bucket or the forks forward, there's a cylinder. It gets a couple grease zerks, but the boom itself don't have any. So, all right, well, let's get these 2 squirts and move on. I do usually do these tires a couple times a year. I know there's a lot of turning and moving with them. Still one up above there I can't reach. I'll have to wait till I lower the cylinder down to get it. That's pretty much it on that. Button this hood back up. I don't think I mentioned it before, but if you weren't able to tell through the video, that this is a New Holland skid steer, and it's an L455 model. And I'll be honest, I don't know that much about New Holland. I know that they're, in my opinion, pretty decent skid steer. They've been making them for a long time, and a lot of dealers around here sell them. Different, you know, the different brand dealers sell them. Agco dealers and Case IH dealers. So there's a lot of them around here in this area, and I think in a lot of areas. But like I said, I don't know too much about them. I know that in this era, I think there was one or two bigger size than this, but I don't know what the model numbers were or anything like that. I guess one other quick thing I did fail to mention here is I did check the hydraulic oil level, and that's done right in here, right there. And I forgot to mention, I did check that, and everything was up to the full mark, so we're good on the hydraulic oil, which I figured it would be. I don't really have any leaks, so I don't know why it would have been down any, but it's still good. just thought I'd mention that. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this. As we keep getting some of these warmer days like this, I want to keep trying to do service on these tractors. Got 4 tractors here I need to get oil changed and serviced and greased and all that good stuff. So I plan on, videoing each time I do them. So whenever I get to the next one, I'll bring you back. So that's going to wrap this one up, and thanks for watching.